Our farm is about 138 acres, and there's around 20 to 25 acres of row crop, and then the rest of it is all tree crops. We do a lot of tree fruit, and we market everything ourselves in-house and sell everything in-house. 2017, I was faced with a steep labor shortages, and one of our biggest problems is when we go to thin peaches, which takes a lot of people, and I couldn't find enough people or enough of the right people to go out and thin peaches and get through the crop. And if you don't get them thinned, you'll have inferior fruit that you can't sell.
My role is to basically advocate for the farm worker here in the United States.
I knew about the H2A program from some friends of mine that actually use them in nursery business and in the farming business. And when they came here, I knew it would be a drastic change for them because of their conditions of how they lived in Mexico. And I actually went down to vet them, to meet them, and to make sure that I got quality workers. And I wanted to meet their families. I wanted to show interest in them and what I want them to do when they come up here to benefit me also.
Part of my job consists of going out and inspecting housing, making sure that the housing meets the minimum requirements. One of the things that I noticed, like I said, is that there's a minimum compliance standard that all farmers have to meet, right? But when I came out and I inspected Steve's housing for the first time, I was really impressed that I looked at the housing. It's a nice housing unit. But I went in there, all the workers had their own room, everything was in order.
Me taking care of them while they leave their families, because it is a sacrifice. When I started to find the families, I had a resource. I had a friend of mine that worked for me for 25 years. I helped him get his citizenship. He lives in Nebraska now with a really beautiful family. His daughters helped me vet the people in the little town in Michoacan that I go to, and not only just the pay, but the conditions that I can provide for them and the workplace for them to work. I try to teach them every skill I can on the farm. And I want them to learn these new skills because there are a lot of skill trainings that I have to do and put myself out there to say these guys aren't just farm laborers, they're going to be part of my farm. I had adequate housing by the standards that the state had projected and met the requirements for that, but I had them in an open house with no bedrooms by themselves. That kind of bothered me, so I said, next year, guys, when you come, I'm going to spend the money to get you a better house. And I actually went to Mexico right after the work season we had in 2019. And we had meetings with the guys down there, and I interviewed everybody again as if they were applying for the job again. And I said, what do I need to do?
With Pettingill Farms, one of the things that I noticed with Steve is that he goes above and beyond what the minimum compliance is for our farmers. They all have minimum standards, but to me, Steve has gone above and beyond that, just even by the housing that he's provided.
And they said, well, we need another stove, we need another refrigerator, we need these, just with small things for me to do.
He seems to be more fully invested in the individuals and not just bringing them over to work, hey, and when you're done, you're gone.
I want them to understand they have ownership here also. That's why I taught them to do the irrigating and all the tractor work and all that stuff. That isn't just secluded to me or to somebody that's in management here. It's secluded. It's for everybody to learn.
I noticed he had some pictures on the wall, and those were pictures of him that he had taken with the family members when he went back and visited these people in Mexico. So to me, that really stood out as he's not just bringing in workers. He was more invested into these individuals that were coming to work here.
I know them as family. They consider me to be family also. I'm invited to the baptisms, the weddings, the first confirmations, the birthday parties, and it's fun. It's great. It's not for everybody to go to Mexico and to visit them, but it's very beneficial to me because I get to know them. I think that they need to take an interest in the guys and treat them as equals in the workplace. The accommodations are much better for them. I take care of them whatever they need. I'm very impressed with what they do.